Once again, we have arrived at the final season of anime for the year. Between the returning and the new series, the summer lineup held up quite nicely this year. Alongside the new shows from Elusive Samurai, Shoshimen, and notably Too Many Losing Heroines, the return of Oshinoko, My Hero Academia, and Fairy Tail reminded us once again why we are here in the first place. Can't forget to mention Wistoria, as the Magic Academy setting will forever keep on giving. Looking ahead, we have another bloated lineup, very reminiscent of last year, with series people have been waiting on all year long. I don't think I can sugarcoat it when I say that you'll definitely want to plan out the days ahead, as you're gonna need some serious dedication to keep up with everything. As always, it's my job to steer you in the direction of what I believe will be worth your time, and with that, here is your final watch list of the year and everything you should be watching for Fall of Anime 2024. We're gonna start with the obvious picks, as choice number 1 will be Re:Zero Season 3. It has been quite some time now since Season 2 as the conflict of the Sanctuary has passed. Fans have been starving for some new content, and come this time around, the story seems to be aiming for its most action heavy yet. From my understanding, this upcoming arc is very battle heavy, in which many have said it gives off shonen vibes to it. Of course, only time will tell, but with the clear indication that the witch cult are pulling up to the location of those part of the royal selection, the gloves are coming off. It is going to be very interesting to see not only Subaru fight this time around, but Betty join the fray as well, coming off the monumental Choose Me episode. Episode 1 this year will be an hour-long premiere, so make sure to have some snacks on standby. Expect Season 3 to be one of the highlights for the season, kicking off in October. Next up, Machi is back once again with its 5th season, known to be the Goddess of Fertility arc. The last 2 seasons have probably been some of Machi's best, given the dire situation of the dungeon's growth alongside putting all of our cast through hell twice over. This season seems to be pulling back into the actual world building activities with Belle, and finally giving insight into the hidden agenda Freya has been looming to have for quite some time now. Given the trailer, I get the impression that a mix of things will be going on simultaneously this season, and honestly, I'm bracing for all of the unexpected. The anime has been going strong for years now, and if they still can keep their consistency up, then this is looking to be another good time. This season will be airing on October 4th. Moving along, Shangri La Frontier is back with its 2nd season. Given the overwhelmingly positive reception of Season 1, I'm glad it didn't take forever for Season 2 to make way. As far as VR MMORPGs go, this series is by far the best one that I have watched since SAO, and honestly has done a lot of good things differently that kept me coming back. Between the farming, NPC interactions, and boss fights, Season 1 was a really good start, and it looks like come this season, a long-awaited rematch is underway. To put it simply, if you were there for it then you'll be here for it now. Shangri-La Season 2 will be back on October 13th. Might as well keep consistent while we're on the topic, as SAO Alternative GGO is back with its 2nd season. Now, I myself am actually in the process of watching this for the first time, and knowing A1 Pictures, I'm sure they're gonna cook. Alicization was a heck of a storyline for the franchise, and I think pulling back to one of the earlier settings once more is always a great idea. Everyone's favorite P90 speed demon is back along with the rest of the crew, and as I said before, if you were there for it then, you'll be locked and loaded come now. Alternative Season 2 will be back on October 4th. Next up, Blue Lock is finally back with its next portion of the story versus U20 Japan. This anime had the entire world in a grip, especially with its influence on the World Cup, and more recently with its prequel events movie. Isagi, alongside 34 more participants, are now face to face with the U20 Japan national team, and as you can imagine, the better ego will win. As crazy of a soccer match we're in for, the elements within the matches are stupidly hype, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy them. Same studio with 14 episodes listed, and so we will be back for another showdown of the greatest egos on October 5th. Moving into our battle shonen territory, Bleach is back once more with its 3rd installment of the 1000-year blood war, The Conflict. So far, Cour 1 is still my favorite Cour, as I cannot say the quality was kept up with Cour 2, however, there were still enjoyable parts of the narrative. Between some new Bankais and Squad Zero showing out, I am excited to see where we proceed from here, as the objective of the Quincy's is the Soul King's life. I've heard that this next portion of the story has had some behind the scenes adjustments with the aim to give it as much consistency as possible, and hopefully the process manages to stay afloat. Here's to another Ichigo and Yuhabaha rematch, and hopefully a a much better Cour as a whole. Coming up as my choice for the anime everyone needs to be watching and most likely will be the gem of the season comes Shonen Jump's next debut with Dandadan. I've been reading this manga for a long time now, and let me just say that the level of weird, tragic, and badass this story has created a recipe for success. The supernatural and the spiritual will collide in this story with a new crew who dives deep into this chaotic world helmed by Studio Science Saru. While it was unfortunately caught up in the recent leaks, the hype has only grown because of the amazing quality shown in the promotional videos, with an OP also helmed by Creepy Nuts. I'm telling you now, the entire anime community is locked in on this show, from both the casual audience to the creators, and as such, you're either gonna be there weekly or hear about it for the rest of the year. Dandadan will be kicking off on October 3rd. Moving into the iconic series itself comes Goku and Vegeta's next journey with Dragon Ball Daima. Now this next story for Dragon Ball is going to be very emotional for a lot of people, as we unfortunately had the passing of one of manga's greatest authors, Akira Toriyama himself. In addition to the hype coming from Sparking Zero, Toriyama was heavily invested in this project, and as such, this will be a major rally for Dragon Ball fans around the world to see this project through. I've never seen GT or the original, so this will actually be my first time seeing a story with Kid Goku in it, let alone with Vegeta as well. With the power pole also being back into the mix, I'm looking forward to seeing how the choreography will be and how the spirit of Dragon Ball will be reinvigorated once more. Definitely will be hearing about this all season as well, and Dragon Ball fans will be there on time. Moving into the sports and romance section comes another weekly Shonen Jump anime adaptation with Blue Box. This is one of the few series within the current Jump lineup that I do not read, and so I'm looking forward to actually being surprised for once with hopefully a good narrative to keep me coming back. Telecom Animation will be handling this project, and if this sounds or looks like it may be up your alley, then by all means make sure to check it out. Blue Exorcist will also be continuing on with the Beyond the Snow saga. Last season we got a lot of developments with Izumo and Shima while also being properly introduced to the Illuminati. This next season seems to put some more focus on Yukio knowing his troubles regarding his brewing power, as well as Shura having a recent disappearance which clearly indicates some personal business. Overall, it's more Blue Exorcist content, and considering the impact it had on my youth, I couldn't be more happy. Beyond the Snow saga will premiere on October 5th. Now, I briefly want to mention the Uzamaki anime. Regardless of the delays and short episode count, a lot of people have been looking forward to these horror stories finally making their way into its adaptation. Junji Ito's works have always been positively regarded over the years. This is definitely something you can enjoy as the episode runtime pushes almost an hour long each. To verbally clarify, these episodes will be premiering on Toonami in the USA, so I'd advise having that figured out before it hits. Uzumaki will be premiering on September 29th. Moving on, we have Studio Mappa's upcoming project with Ranma 1/2. Continuing the streak of the iconic Rumiko Takahashi getting their works new adaptations, come another one of their notable stories originally serialized from 1987 to 1996. From my understanding, this deals with a cursed martial artist constantly having their gender switched after falling upon a curse, and when in contact with cold water, he transforms into a girl. We know Mappa can do hand-to-hand action, so I'm sure the combat will be entertaining, and hopefully the original comedic charm of the series is also brought to life just as well. If you enjoyed Urusei Yatsura, then this is definitely going to be the show you want to watch this season, and if you are not familiar with Rumiko Takahashi, then there is no greater time than now. Now, before I close out this list, there is one series I want to mention as somewhat of a potential surprise this season, and that's Mechanical Arms. This one is a original television series that had a pilot released on YouTube back in 2019 and now has made its way into a full anime adaptation. Of course, you need to go back and watch the pilot first and see if it scratches that itch, but I can't help but be intrigued by it. Not only is Eve the artist responsible for JJK Season 1's opening and My Hero Academia's Villain Hunt opening getting a voice in the show, but Swano is also contributing to the music. If this sounds like something you'd like to check out, then by all means feel free to support them. This will be different than what many are used to, but as always, different never initially means bad. Finally, Riot Games is back to unfortunately drag more people down to the Summoner's Rift with Arcane Season 2. With Season 1 having monumental success back during its airing, it was only a matter of time before we get to the next part of Jinx's and Vi's story. I don't think I need need to yap so much about this one. Where we go beyond here could be anywhere in the League universe, so I expect this season to go out with a major bang, knowing it will be some time before we see these characters again. Netflix accounts, here we come. And with that is going to bring me to the end of this watch list. Overall, we have a heck of a lineup to end off the year, and honestly, it's looking to once again be a pretty hype time to be in the community. Of course, if there is anything I did not mention on this list and manages to catch my eye, I'll make sure to give it credit where it's due. For now, this is where I'm leaving the choice in your hands, and I look forward to another fall season. And with that, it's gonna bring me to the end of this video. As always, thank you very much for watching, and make sure to let me know what you plan to watch for the fall season this year in the comment section down below. Be safe out there, enjoy the fall season, until the next video.